to my channel, and as always, thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. And before we really get into details, guys, I want to let you know you could like and subscribe, and then also hit that bell in the corner for the notifications for when my video does pop out every other Thursday. And just to get us started off, guys, one of the things I want to focus on in this video is a couple of items to get ourselves started out. One, I'm mainly going to be focusing on, the price as well as the quality, and then also the durability. And these are a couple of items that I am very fond of. And to start things off, guys, I want to introduce the sketchbook. So the sketchbook is probably one of my favorite items when it comes to being an artist, because I am mainly a traditional artist. I love to draw, I love to ink, I even love to paint in here as well. And my sketchbook that I mainly prefer, which is by Canson XL, is going to be a mixed media sketchbook. Now, everyone has their own thing that they like to do when it comes to painting. I highly recommend focusing on getting a painting book. If you love to sketch, I mainly would say focus on getting a sketching book. Now, there are many different kinds of books out there, and you definitely want to pay attention to getting the right book that fits your needs. And just to let you guys know, this doesn't cost very much. It's only $10.99, and typically at Michael's, they're always doing that $10.99, and then you can get the second book for 50%, which is going to be an additional maybe $5 or $6, and that's not very much. And I would definitely recommend to get yourself started out, get yourself a sketchbook. It can go a long way, and you never know when that ideal may pop in your head, and you just want to jot or sketch the ideal down on paper. That way you can, when you do get back to it, you can go about really finishing the product or giving it more detail. Guys, one thing that I would definitely recommend for item number 2 is getting yourself a pair of outliners, maybe multi-liners or pens that you can go and outline your drawings in. That's something that I would recommend, because I am an inker. I'm an avid inker, if you may put it. And I will also recommend definitely getting yourself a pair of white gel pens. Now, here's a couple items that I decided to go with. They're very inexpensive, also very durable. They last for quite some times, and the quality of them is quite amazing. I definitely would recommend these white gel pens. They're Galley Roll. They were $1.45 each, as well as Artist Loaf, which was about, for this 3-pack, I would definitely recommend, because it was only $5.99. I've actually been using this brand for the past, I would say, 4 to 5 months now, and I've kind of fallen in love with it. But definitely recommend that you get your own pair that really works for you, whether it be Micron or whether it be the Copic multi-liner. Definitely do something that really works for you. Now, I also have a pair of Artist Loaf permanent markers to really dig in there and get those dark areas. I would say one of the reasons that these kind of stood out for me is because when you do erase after you've drawn or after you've inked, the ink doesn't fade. That's one of the main reasons why I get this brand. I've tried many other brands, but for some odd reason, this one really sticks with me. And again, it's very inexpensive, and then also the lasting or the shelf life is quite amazing as well. And then with that being said, item number 3, I definitely think it's very essential to start yourself out with the base before you really go in and add any kind of details. And when I say add a base, you definitely want to start your thing off with, I would say, a pencil. So typically what I like to do is I always start in a very light shade, which is roughly about a 2H. That way I can really get in there and add the figure, do some small details before I do any kind of pen, any kind of color. That way I can really get the errors out of the way before I really start adding anything. Now, they do come in a variety of shades from 4H all the way to 8B, and that's just in this pack. And it's very inexpensive. I would say a pack like this would run you for maybe $13.49. And you're not just getting just the pencils. You're also going to be getting a sharpener and an eraser, and it could definitely take you a long way, as in shelf life wise. I've had this pack for about a good 3 months, and as you can see, I've barely used any of it. And as a person in my stature, I draw every single day. I have to, because it is something that I'm doing right now for one of my challenges, but that's another story. Definitely, if you want to get yourself started out on the right path, and we all make mistakes, this is definitely one way to get yourself started out. You make some errors, you can go ahead and erase it. If your lead, gets a little dull, you always want to try to draw with a very sharp lead. That way you can really get into the detail. But with that being said, guys, moving forward, I want to go into my fourth item. My fourth item I think is actually pretty cool because it's a combination. Now, it's actually going to be my watercolor and then also my color pencils. So whether you decide to do color pencils or watercolor or even the combination of both of them, typically your color is an expression of you, and then even in some cases you don't necessarily have to do color. Both of these items are very inexpensive. The quality is pretty amazing. I've been using this for about 3 to 4 months. I would recommend, in my opinion, I love to do the tube for the watercolor because I think you can mix the colors a lot better, and in that sense, and it gives you like a darker hue of color. And then you also have your colored pencils. Now both items are very cheap in my opinion, if you're looking at the budget. These are only $15.99 for Prismacolor pencils. I recommend Prismacolor pencils because the lead is soft and it does mix very well with the other colors, especially if you are trying to create a dimension within your drawing, if you're trying to create depth. That way it's not so flat. And then the same does go for my watercolor paint by Simple. I'll actually have a description or a link in the description about where I get these items from and then how much they usually will cost. It's costing me $5.99 for a 12 pack of paint, and I've had this for about half a year, and typically you can use this for a good amount of time before it does run out. Again guys, I definitely would always recommend getting some items like this just to get yourself started out, and you really got to find what works for you. That way you could really express yourself in your. And guys, on a final note, one thing that I really want to express is that, being an artist doesn't mean you need to have the most expensive supplies as well as, I would say, the cheapest. However, what you need to do is do your research. Find something that works for you. You're going to go through a phase where you're going to try a ton of different supplies that you think are cool, or you think, oh man, this will look really awesome. But in time, you'll learn how to, I would say, pinpoint it down to what it is that really works for you. And with these items that I did show you guys today, these are items that I've been using for a number of years because they work for me. They help me to express who I am as an artist. And I think once you find what it is that you really like doing or what really works for you, then you'll really start to learn how to master the style of art that you like to do. Again guys, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, like and subscribe, and then also hit that bell in the corner for the notifications every 2 weeks. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and take care.